Welcome to the Renegade podcast. I'm your host, a dashing rogue, and I'm with my frequent sidekick, artistic layman.
I know what you're gonna say, son. When two halves is gone, there's nothing left. And you're right. It's a little old worm who wasn't there. Two nothings is nothing. That's mathematics, son. You can argue with me, but you can't argue with figures. Two half nothings is a whole nothing. And I know what I'm talking about because...
Did Foghorn Leghorn just try to use phenomenology on the chicken hawk?
On a cat.
On a cat. What exactly? In a lot of ways, he kind of... Actually, now that I think about it, that kind of is how he gets out of that shit. He's like, what exactly is a chicken? What exactly constitutes a chicken? What exactly constitutes... I'm a rooster. I'm not a chicken. I'm not a woman. Like, it literally is the gender question. Because then you have to ask yourself, does the chicken hawk go after the chicken, or does he go after the rooster? I don't fucking know. I don't know much, but all I know is that we are in interesting frickin' times, Luke.
Ah, yes.
Interesting frackin' times. Here we go.
Anything in particular?
Well, first off, we have the Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0, right? Just in time for Black Ops 6. Because you've heard what they're doing in Black Ops 6, right?
No, what happened?
It's going to be Gulf War Black Ops. So we're going to actually see, American propaganda reference fucking the Gulf War for the first time.
Huh? What is this?
This is
I don't
this
get
is
it.
Sticks.
But
No, we'll get to it. Just trust the plan. Trust the plan, Luke.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
All right, everyone. Everyone's all up in arms about the Gorshkov being docked in Havana right now in Cuba. It's a Russian warship. It's capable of firing supposedly hypersonic missiles, etc., etc. Everyone's getting it wrong, and it reminds me of the Nicaragua Canal. I'll point out what I think Russia's doing here, and then we'll draw that particular comparison.
And I'll point out what I think
actually.
Russia's actually doing after this. I'll point out what I think Russia's doing. Keep going.
Despite the fact that the canal was never actually built at all. What Russia's doing, I think, in Cuba right now is gently reminding the Western world about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Basically, they dock a warship there, they say, okay, we are capable of doing this. We do have force projection capabilities, we have a blue water navy. It's more limited than the United States Navy, and certainly the various NATO forces, but we do have it, and we've got an ally there in the Caribbean, and we're capable of docking there. We're friendly with them. They're reminding us of those diplomatic relations. The comparison is, in my opinion, a little similar to the Nicaragua Canal. At the time that it was proposed, I correctly pointed out that it would never be built, because building it was never the point. It was meant to run a foil to build a small Chinese military base in the Central American region, number one, and number two, to score a diplomatic victory. What China did is it went in with all of these big, bold-sounding plans. Well, we're going to make a canal that'll rival the Panama Canal, which at the time was literally undergoing a major upgrade. And
it's discount fucking Chinese shit. It'll be the Chinese equivalent of the Suez Canal.
It's going to break apart.
It's going to be like the Suez Canal brought to you by Temu.
I mean, they make actual water dams that actually bend and fracture. Like, this is going to be a disaster.
I mean, it's no mistake that DICE invented the levolution mechanic in Battlefield 4 when you're fighting the actual Chinese. Like, you destroying a dam is actually a mechanic, or destroying a building is an actual mechanic in that fucking game. And it's all happening in China.
and expansion. So making a new canal would not have been necessary anyway. Then I put two and two together and figured out, well, if that's not the reason, then what is? Oh, that's right, they want this military base. Plus, then they can also score several diplomatic victories at the same time, and they don't even need to build a canal. The proposal for the canal would have flooded out a bunch of farmers. Naturally, they're going to protest, right? China played its cards right with the Nicaragua canal bullshit. Then they can back off and say, well, I guess it won't work in the end after all. You've got your military base. You get to point to Uncle Sam and say, look, they barge into countries and they do things against the populist will. We're backing off because we understand your grievances and there's no way to do this, and so, it's all good. Then they also get to ingratiate themselves with the Nicaraguan government because they pump so much money into the country. And China has a lot of money and then fixes its currency values and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
China,
well, they do. The Chinese literally are swindlers. They're swindlers of the nations. And that's not, and the way it is, because they keep fucking with the currency. They literally will inflate their currency. They'll build cities that don't even exist, that are never occupied, that never lived in. But people will buy into it. They're dead assets. It's bullshit. You want to talk about Build Back Better? That's what that shit is.
It's all good GP on paper, but just like with the Soviet Union.
Wow.
I mean, because the Soviet Union was indeed making a lot of stuff. The problem is the people it was making stuff that a lot of people in their own country wanted. So they're basically working them to death.
Yeah, they wanted a car that would only go like 40 miles per hour, just that way, so the the military police they could never outrun it. Like stupid fucking shit like Yugos and crap. Nobody wants them, but everybody else wants to buy their fucking.
I mean, China has fields and fields of supposedly company bicycles and electric cars that are never going to get sold or ever going to get used, but they're built, so therefore they have good GDP numbers.
Yeah, they have good. They have good. What's the heuristic gross general product, whatever it's called? I don't know.
Gross domestic product.
Yeah, GDP. Yeah, exactly. But here's what I think is going on. Here we go, Luke.
Good
I
shot.
believe that the whole.
Sorry, what's going on?
This is a story regarding a. Let's see. Okay, so it's at 3 minutes and 25 seconds in.
So I forgot. What was the conclusion of Russia? Is that just the conclusion of Russia and China? What's this all about?
Well, he's basically talking about the Cubans moving a missile cruiser right next to the or not the Cubans, the Russians moving a missile cruiser right into the Cuban docks and ports, right? That could very well strike the United States. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that they'll have it there, but what they'll do is they'll tax America's resources by just being there. Because, again, if they fire it off, it'll go off. But here's the thing. If you have people on the ground who are already conducting sabotage, which is what I think is going to happen, you're going to see, like, blackouts and crap like that. And it's going to be, a lot of it's going to be in the southern border area.
Oh,
Case in point. Here we go, Luke. Play it.
At 3 minutes?
3 minutes and 25 seconds in.
3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yep.
Trigger functions of your semi-automatic firearm today.
And by TNVC.com. The new Mars LC 2000 meter laser rangefinder
No,
is
not
in
25.
stock.
3 minutes and 25 seconds in.
3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Your head as I say it. So an illegal alien from Chechnya named Ramzan Darev, who lived in Chicago, was working for a New Jersey power company in North Carolina when he came onto a property owned by a colonel in the U.S. Army who is a member of the Special Operations Command. He says Darev was using a camera with a telephoto lens to take photos of his children. He says Darev became aggressive when he approached, so he shot him multiple times. The Chechen's body was found by the sheriff department about 250 yards from the roadway near the power lines he was supposedly photographing at sundown. A second illegal alien, also from Chechnya, was apparently waiting for the dead guy in a car nearby. Both men worked for a company called Utilities One, which is owned by a guy from Moldova who worked as a busboy and an ice salesman for 3 years in the U.S. before somehow saving up enough money to start up a utility company in 2016. But what?
That's not suspicious at all.
That is what we call that's actual, like, active measures going on from Russia right then and there.
Oh,
Like you and I both know about, like, what Beanie Man said about how the Russians had people in, like, Georgia trying to establish a black ethno state and crap like that. Well, this is some of those active measures right here. They literally were trying to kill a fucking colonel. That's ambitious monkey man shit, especially coming from the fucking Chechens. Fucking A, boo. What the hell were you thinking? You thought you could take on Colonel Roy Campbell, you fucking asshole? No, he's gonna shoot you with a 45. He'll use it. He'll hit you from far miles away with a fucking sniper, a PSG-1 or some shit.
But it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't as aggressive as all that. He didn't have to shoot him.
But he's a fucking illegal. He literally is an illegal. Keep playing it, Luke.
While their employment with the company was legitimate, they were not wearing a company uniform or displaying ID. The company released a statement, including a photo they claim was the last pic taken by Darev. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could the company get hold of that? Well, if he was using a company phone, it might automatically upload as he takes photos. But the colonel said Darev had a camera with a telephoto lens, and if he was supposed to be photographing power lines and rights-of-way, why was he doing that at sundown?
Some weird, wild stuff.
Okay, so on the one hand, we've got illegal aliens from a country known for its terrorists working on our power infrastructure. Even if this guy was totally legit, that in itself is pretty concerning. But you have to admit, it really sounds like these guys were gathering intel for some Tom Clancy plot. Were they planning to take his family hostage? I mean, if they were...
No.
Why?
What they were going to do is they were going to basically destroy some infrastructure. All the while, Russia fires a warning shot, let's say, over Cuba, right? And they're not targeting anything, but America would have to basically have a bunch of naval ships right then and there to shut down that shit if it does go off. But then there'll be people who will experience actual fucking attacks on the infrastructure, whether it be destruction of, let's say, generator, electricity, what have you. We've already seen this happen before, where people are, like, shooting infrastructure, like in California and whatnot. I believe that's what's going to happen. We're going to see infrastructures be targeted all at once, and it'll be blamed on the Russian missiles, but nobody will believe it. That's what I think is scary. That's what I think is going to pop off.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's just what I would say to Styx. That's my counter argument that the Russians, who are already here, and yeah, they don't tell me they're not here. They just shot a fucking colonel, okay, a Delta colonel. Like, come on. Fucking A. No, but like every time someone runs their, like, I can't even talk about with some of these fucking people on the right. They will immediately think I'm a leftist, and that is one of the greatest tricks the fucking Russians and whatnot have done. They've managed to make it so that you can't talk about them without them having a bunch of, assumptions about what I'm gonna say.
Wait, so because you're pointing out Russia, they think you're a leftist?
Yeah. I've been called a leftist because, you just hate Trump. I'm like, no.
But wait,
but
we're fighting.
And I get dogpiled.
Well, but why would they do that? Russia is the enemy. Why are we thinking that's an indication of being a leftist? I mean, if you shouldn't be more sympathetic with Russia, like what's the deal?
Me being sympathetic with Russia? No, absolutely not.
Huh. So I don't get why the right wingers are mad at you, and it wouldn't make any sense.
Well, they just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear about how they're wrong. I call the shit out, and then I get told, "Oh, you're full of shit." And I'm like, "But I'm not. I'm legitimately trying to help you, you fuckers." Right? Let's see if I could get it for you. I want to pull up another one that was interesting. I had a good day with my dad there today. I actually went to AMW Root Beer. You ever been to AMW?
I have been there.
I actually want to go there again. I'd like to take you next time. I gotta pay you back some, because I actually think I'm gonna just pay you all at once and then have a little bit of cash left over.
Yeah, no, that reminds me. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, Father's Day. It's today's Father's Day. It's a good thing. I like Father's Day. I think it was cool.
See, was it just a corporate holiday, or was there some legitimacy to it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, nowadays everything is there's no legitimacy to anything nowadays. Honestly, everything is just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Oh, here it is. First celebration. The first Father's Day celebration was held in June 10th, 1910 at the YMCA in Spokane, Washington, where Sonora Smart Dodd organized a church service and a special meal to honor her father. It's part of the holiday and global celebrations. All right.
So it's a uniquely American invention.
Yeah, which is all good. And here's one for you. Here's one I think is going to be really interesting. I want to say about in 10 minutes in. Again, then another guy who I highly recommend. Another channel who, again, I really do believe we are in the era of YouTube where it's I would say 10K and under is where all the good fucking content is. Right?
10K and
Speaking of content, yeah, 10 and under. Speaking of content, I recently picked up a bunch of fucking DVDs and crap like that up in Prescott Valley. And, oh yeah, I got a lot of them. I got like $30 worth of the shit, and I'm able to upload it onto my freaking Jellyfin server, and it's amazing. I actually built my own Netflix, essentially. It's fucking based. I don't know, keep 10 minutes and yeah, play it.
And we can have godlike abilities, and so this is kind of that thing that I saw in communism, right? When the communists said that we're going to create utopia.
Yeah, Eric Berglund would call it a Gnostic speculation, right? So the Gnostics believed that man could kind of become God if he had the knowledge, and the God that created the universe is kind of a devil. He's a demiurgos, right? He doesn't
want us to have the cool stuff.
Right, he's got it. We're trapped here. We're imprisoned in the creation of the demiurgos, and our whole goal is to escape.
Play it back.
We're in Alcatraz.
Play it back a bit. He doesn't want us to have nice stuff.
Yep.
Like clip that, Luke. Clip that, because that's exactly what the demiurge is. He doesn't want you to have nice stuff.
The God that created the universe is kind of a devil. He's a demiurgos, right?
He doesn't want us to have the cool stuff.
Yep. He doesn't want us to have the cool stuff, Luke. He's like Big Pharma. He doesn't want to cure schizophrenia. He just wants to make a bunch of fucking money off of it and create a voter farm base. Speaking of, this guy, Candor, the German, the Kraut fucking intel guy. He's actually pretty good. I really like him a lot. But he was actually talking with James Lindsay. Now, I don't know about you, Luke, but James Lindsay's been on fire lately. Like, you told me about something about, like, voter farms and the mentally ill. Like,
yes.
Can you elaborate about that?
Oh, yes. Apparently, he's going over this paper that suggests that something called, what was the word James used? Because it's, like all other social ills, everything is a collective ill for us. But he said something to the effect, social determination of health. He's arguing that there are some people who argue that there are social things that actually contribute to your health, and part of having a healthy individual is participating in civic society, which is voting. And what this means is that people who are deprived of the vote, or not have an opportunity to vote, like mentally unhinged people or insane people in insane asylums, should be able to vote.
They should.
In fact,
they should.
What this boils down to is turning mental institutions into voting farms. Yeah, mentally.
That's dangerous.
They're going to go to the clinics, say, list up all the things, and say, oh yeah, have you voted? And then use that as a pretense to tell them how they should, or not directly tell them, but imply how it's helpful for them to vote, and how they should vote for the people who are going to keep their votes.
That's false consciousness, Luke. Take your medication.
So it is.
No, I could already see how this would be abused. But honestly, they have a right to vote. But the problem here is if they turn the asylum into a voting farm, that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That's like turning an opium den into a fucking voting farm. Like, you can't leave. These people are fucking drugged out of their mind in some cases. Some of them are actually neurotic. But they do have a right to vote. The crazies do have a right to vote. Okay? Because what's crazy, right? Keep playing it.
Right, he's got it. We're trapped here. We're imprisoned in the creation of the demiurgos, and our whole goal is to escape. It's like we're in Alcatraz, and we've got to figure a way out. And of course, it's knowledge that is our way out. If we have the right knowledge, we're going to escape. Not that creation is a good thing, that we're here doing something important. It's that, no, this is all bad. We have to leave. We have to leave the game of reality. And of course, I'm not a materialist, but communism is a materialistic version of that. We're going to leave the game by having a revolution and overthrowing the existing system. And thus there is within communism a kind of...
Fuck you, we're going to take our toys and go home.
What was that? What was that?
We're going to take our toys. We're going to take our toys and go home.
Go full Galt, Galt Skull. What was the name of the character in Atlas Shrugged?
John Galt.
John Galt, that's it.
John Galt. We're gonna do our own anarcho commune. We're gonna go full Monty Python,
and we're not gonna go Rapture and go Bioshock.
What's interesting here is the way they describe it, because I really do think the right wing, and again, you criticize people who you want to see succeed. I want them to succeed, by the way. Some of the stuff that I'm hearing that they're bringing up in this video of theirs. They're talking about how, like, a lot of the secrets will be revealed, and a lot of this conspiracy shit is just a giant fucking, I guess a feeding trough of disinformation that could be used to, like, insult and, like, belittle the United States. Keep playing it, look.
The evil capitalists and the system is against everybody, so we're all trapped in the system, and we've got to overthrow it. So it's again a Gnostic speculation, and Verglin uses this the model of the Gnostic. Well, the ancient alien stuff is Gnostic speculation, because if only we knew the truth about who we really were, and that we really knew our past, and somebody has taken our history away and the knowledge of who we are, and we're trapped somehow, right? And it's maybe there's bad aliens keeping us down. Who knows what the speculation is? You've got they like to quote Charles Hoy Fort, who wrote the Book of the Damned, in which he said perhaps we are owned by something. We're the property of an extraterrestrial civilization, or he called it a extraterrestrial Genghis Khan or Timberlane the Great.
And some people want to be controlled, even if they don't fully realize it or admit it. Some people, they want to be run. They want to follow this all-powerful leader, and we talked about this in previous shows. That specific angle when leaders of the past, especially the ancient world, they would be crazy oftentimes, and they would try psychedelic drugs, and they would tell people they are gods and they have special powers, and if you worship them, good things happen. But if bad things happen, then it's somebody else's fault for reasons.
And by the way, this use of psychedelics or use of mind-altering drugs to attain communication with the gods. And we mentioned this before. There's a new guy out. He's a student of ancient Greek. He's some kind of philologist out of Wisconsin who got kicked out of a Catholic school for being demon possessed.
Demon
What?
Possessed. Yeah, apparently he got kicked out for being demon possessed.
Good. He needs to be quarantined. That's what needs to happen. He don't get kicked out. You get quarantined.
I was under the impression
Yeah,
that
you get kicked.
when you are demon possessed, you do act insane and self-destructive. That's what I was thought.
That's false. No. Like you need to learn how to be the best version of yourself so you can gain the secrets, Luke. Keep going.
Catholic college, and he is claiming that the ancient religions, ancient pagan oracles were based on using certain drugs, using snake venoms as drugs to reach the gods, right? So the Pythian Oracle of Apollo, he might.
So this is a real thing. Using
pharmakia
snake's
is-
blood. Snake's venom and snake's blood. Yikes.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of that shit, Luke.
be onto something
Going.
there. But of course, when you listen to him, he's rather out there. But yeah, this idea of using these things, and of course, I think we've mentioned before that people who have certain drug experiences seem to see the same kind of entities that UFO abductees claim to see, which is rather curious.
So
and of course, is it a hallucination? Is it a kind of drug experience? We don't know what it is. But
and when people watch this Terrence Howard guy, an actor, Hollywood actor, right? He was in superhero movies that I haven't seen. When he was rambling on and he was mixing in everything he could possibly think of, so he was talking about elements of the, elements have colors and sounds, and this thing wraps around the other, and it's very artistic, and he creates this art, in private, and he tries to have it patented because he thinks he found the key to the universe. People commented on this on YouTube, and also when scientists, made videos about it, people commented on it, and they said, well, I know somebody, a brother or some close friend, people said, I know somebody who sounds exactly like this, talks exactly like this, and this person was diagnosed as schizophrenic or with some additional conditions. So people always have to be aware of, that even legitimate scientists have produced false things. Is this the scientists in history?
Wait, Terrence Howard isn't the actor?
Terrence Howard, I believe so. I hope not.
Oh well, even
there you go, Luke.
Even what's it, Star Talk with what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson had to make a video on it.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Should I play that?
A guy who literally sounds like he's schizophrenic. He sounds schizophrenic. These people, they let these people on, and a lot of this pushback, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it's pushback against the academy. I mean, hell, I'm guilty of this. I hate the academy. I hate the establishment. I want to get rid of it. But then you have these people who say we gotta get rid of the establishment, and they're actually like fucking schizophrenics and shit. Like here you go, Luke.
Wait, a deep dive on the actor who went insane trying to disprove gravity. That's what he was trying to do.
Let's look at this. I want to see that. I don't know who the fuck that person is. Play it.
Let's see.
Times 1 equal 2.
Ask anybody, man. I didn't come to tell you guys this. I just came to prove to you. As a child, I studied chemical engineering. This is the proof that the square root of 2 is a rational number.
Oh my God! It is the guy from. It's the War Machine, dude.
Still don't get it.
So our entire world economy is based on 1 times 1 equaling 1. This is an undiscovered geometry.
How did I not know about this? Well, this is over your. Wow.
How did I not know about? Just keep playing it. Wow.
Making known to the world here on the show.
I think you're in another dimension.
What do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't know. You're fine. You're not really fine. We can't get into it because we would never understand.
Real, man.
Remember that actor from Hollywood who lost his mind trying to prove that gravity wasn't real at Oxford? He's back. He figured out a new language called teriology, and I'm not joking about this. It's a language that he created because he now figured out some new geometric shapes, and he's taking it to Uganda to help the kids of Africa go to hell faster. I don't...
oh, no.
Fuck. Help the children get to hell faster, Luke.
Oh, great.
Oh.
I'm not really sure how he's helping. I thought Uganda already had enough problems, but it seems like Terrence Howard is...
But I wanted to click on the more recent one with the Neil deGrasse Tyson has to tear apart, because this was 3 days ago.
I want to hear what Black Einstein
I recently learned
has to say.
Black science, a diversity hire science man.
Oh, shit.
I got name-checked by Terrence Howard on his recent appearance on Joe Rogan.
I reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, hey, man, yeah, I'd love for you to come on my show, do my radio, do my TV thing. Would love that. I was like, yeah, but I've got something I want to introduce to you.
He's trying to look awfully gangster in this, I notice.
He looks bling. He looks blingy.
Yeah.
I got name checked because 8 years ago he sent me a 36-page treatise.
And it was only 36 pages.
So this is Terrence Howard attempting to reinvent mathematics and physics. A little backstory there. I took initial interest in Terrence because my mother said to me, do you know Terrence Howard? I said, yeah, I know. I mean, the actor? She said, yeah. Well, I heard him interviewed on NPR. On there, he said that, like, when he was a kid, he wanted to be, like, a scientist and study the universe. I said, well, that's cool. Okay, maybe we'll get him on Star
That's
Talk.
cool.
We love talking
That
to
is
celebrities.
cool.
So salt
You
peak
had
underbelly. At the time, I
rambled-
didn't quite know how to get in touch with him, but
Oh, here.
Gone for 18 pages. Front and back!
we met at something called the Upfronts, which is where networks present their next season's TV shows.
I saw him at an event up front.
And then this came in my inbox. In this particular case, since I basically solicited it from him, I actually spent time reading every line of all 36 pages. And I commented. My comments are in red here. You see that? So I spent a lot of time on it. And I thought, out of respect for him, what I should do is give him my most informed critical analysis that I can. In my field, we call that a peer review.
Okay.
You come up with an idea. You present
He's
it
gonna peer
either
review him. Oh boy.
at a conference where you first write it up and you send it to your colleagues. It is their duty to alert you of things about your ideas that are either misguided or wrong, or there's a miscalculation that doesn't work out, or
Yeah, and let's see what we have here.
conclusions. You have ambitious work that is a clear indication of a restless, active mind. Within these pages, however, there are many assumptions and statements that are underinformed, misinformed, or simply false, thereby compromising or nullifying many of the subsequent conclusions you have drawn. That's exactly what should happen in a peer review, out of respect for one another's intellect. It opens with a quote from Terrence. It can never occur that the square root of a given number, when added to itself, is greater than the initial number squared, for that would expose a loose thread within the fabric of our understanding, a loose thread capable of unraveling the very ground rules of mathematics.
Yeah, this is so how Marx would write something. Like
This is Sokol levels of sophistry. The Sokol hoax. Like we're gonna talk
and
about.
there's only 2 sentences, and there's only 3 sentences long.
Racial gravity. We're gonna talk about racial gravity and its effect on inner city youth.
Let's see what else was there.
That's a bold statement. So then I just say, this opening thesis is false. There are plenty of examples of this that have escaped your attention. His statement is shown to be false for every number that's less than 1 and greater than 0. For example, the square root of 0.64 is 0.8. 0.8 is bigger than 0.64, and it's a larger number than the original. And 0.64 squared equals 0.4096, a smaller number than the original, to the extent that the next 35 pages depends on your stated thesis. This fact undermines your claims and assumptions and conclusions.
Oh, that's the whole thing is just that's all you have to know. That's it.
Waste of time.
Anyway,
We
let's get
gotta
back.
know. Yeah.
Being back to the politics stuff. Oh well, he's a Hollywood celebrity. Of course, he went nuts.
Like Nikola Tesla, he's done some great work and he's done some, weird stuff that turned out not to be scientific. So you got that, and then of course you get crazy people who mimic the language of science or who try to appear, knowledge and very, authoritative about these subjects. You get all kinds of people, and science is hard. And once you talk about the intelligence world, the science of secrets, this is when a staggering number of people fail, because when you talk about the intelligence world, this is a field where you don't have the regular toolbox, so you can.
Well, it's not about what you know; it's about who you choose to believe. Right. So the science has a different meaning in this context.
Yeah, like it's always the difference between like astronomy and astrology. Like what is your goal? Are you evidence oriented or goal oriented?
Are you trying to get white chicks to like you? Are you gonna use white girl magic, or are you gonna listen to the bird, or are you gonna actually like grow up and be a fucking be something? Let's say
whatever gets them to pay for my resorts.
whatever gets to pay for your resorts and your cross-Atlantic expedition, your avian expeditions. Let's say.
Which one should I click on? Should I watch the Witch one or the Z-Lab one? Which one should I click on?
Let's C-Lab 1 minute and 35 seconds in.
1 minute.
I believe it's 1 minute 30 seconds.
Given
yeah, 1 minute 30. There
And so were these mendicants. Marduk commands it.
Who the hell is Marduk?
The sun god who dwells inside me.
In front or in back?
Marduk, son of Ea, slayer of Tiamat.
Marduk rules. He totally does.
I want Marduk the sun god in me.
Everybody shut up! Look at yourselves. You're like zombies. Debbie, look at me. What you need inside you is some food.
If I eat food, there won't be any room for Marduk, slayer of Tiamat.
Marduk desires not the barren wasteland of your desiccated viscera.
He totally doesn't.
No, he doesn't. But at the same fucking time, you got to remember these fucking these new agers. The moment they start talking like this type of crap, they immediately destroy any value they have to the movement. They will drag down and they will make you look optically fucking retarded. This is like the equivalent of Wignats actually unironically believing that they are descendants from Atlantis, and they will literally tell you that they're Atlanteans or some shit. No, we're not going to get into the walrus talk. Not tonight. But play the Mia Magic chick.
Day in the life of a spiritual entrepreneur. So let's see what we got here.
What's up, magical people? Welcome back to Your Most Magical Life. I'm Mia Magic, and I am so excited to share this
That's Magic with a K.
With a K.
Video with you today. So many of you who are spiritual entrepreneurs who are wanting to grow your business, who tell me things like, I want to do what you do. This video is for you. This is a day in my life with some of my more
grift. This is how to grift.
This is not MLM, folks. It's for real.
This is what Aeneas Arcusian was doing.
practices, sustainability, how I function in my life. You get a really good glimpse of like a little more of my personality, not just sitting here talking to y'all.
Why do you need her advice? Make up your own stuff.
Yeah, make your own in-house equipment like I do.
But maybe she'll teach you how to mass produce your stuff, though. That's key. That's what's key to any successful entrepreneur venture. Got to mass produce it and sell it.
Well, you also have to make sure that you can abuse the tax code and basically write this off as a religious expense.
Well, of course. Well, oh no, business expense. Or is it a religious expense or a business expense?
Well, if you're going to travel to Mecca, like every so often, I'd imagine that you'd have some level of like taxpayer subsidies to allow you to go because they have no choice. If you tax me, it's against your religion. That's discrimination. Ooh.
Well, yeah, that would be you have to register as a religion though, because I mean, otherwise you have to make yourself into some kind of business or like nonprofit or something.
Well, that's what the Gnostic bitches do. These people legit, like you'll see. She's got it figured out. She understands the economics of the alchemy of finance.
Video like this, some of my little quirks, and really it's just a beautiful representation of how I'm running my business, how I run my life, how I interact and engage with my team, and it's such a precious way of me
this
moving
bitch has
through my
fucking
life.
witch hats in her place. I don't like, and you know, have you started to notice it, Luke? Have you started to notice the smelly fucking vagina look chicks?
Well, I don't.
The older white women look like the wino, a white girl. The wino white girl look,
kind of
like this one.
I mean, I guess if I met her in real life, I wonder if I would find her attractive.
I actually find her quite attractive, to be honest. But the problem here is I think she's probably crazy enough. Like, again, she talked about her fucking moon being the fucking blood of the Holy Spirit shit. Like you have to ask yourself, does she actually believe this shit, or is she just talking shit?
It's the same. The effect is the same. So I say either.
Yeah, she's talking shit.
As a conscious entrepreneur here for regenerative capitalism. And so I hope that this video inspires you in a way that I relate to the earth, relate to myself, really the foundations of what are most important in my life, and ultimately
how San Diego.
I wonder how much that camera crew costs, because she's paying someone to take those pictures of her.
Well, she probably, it's probably not even a camera crew. It's probably just a fucking drone now. You know,
maybe.
Like, the drones could do, like, really good camera work. They actually have if they're, like, an actually decent drone, you could get good shots with that shit.
All right, cool.
My inner child is my North Star, is my guiding light, but also the work that I'm doing on myself for my students and clients to eradicate the way that her wounds or her not enoughness or unworthiness could really drive the ship. So So if any of you are interested in diving deeper with me, doing amazing deep work with me, please come.
Claim your queen. Oh yes, you've seen this. The queendom.
She's trying to sell you the oppression, and at the same time, liberation.
Yep. Don't scream at the sky to get rid of Trump. Scream at the ground to get rid of your pain. It's individual. See, claim your queendom, blah, 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 blah.
That down below, and I would absolutely love to see you and meet you there. I'm so excited to hear what you think. Thank you so much for watching.
Today, we are adventuring through...
Is that the Virgin Mary there?
Yeah, she's wearing a poncho. I probably think nothing else, to be frank with you. God help us.
Scotland. I am on my way to my castle retreat, my absolute favorite experience. Very much like going to Hogwarts for a week. It's...
This is how you know that Harry Potter was an accident, was a mistake.
I'm glad I don't even know the ending of the story, dude. I never fucking got into Harry Potter, so I literally don't know anything about it. So if some chick like this says, "Do you want to watch Harry Potter with me?" I'm like, I've never seen it.
It's,
sure.
I mean, it's surprisingly simple. It's a bad guy loses and Harry Potter moves on with his life. That's it. Everyone carries on.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, the lore behind it. Like, I don't know the deep lore and shit. So, like, I don't know. Like, I think the last movie I watched was the one where Edward from Twilight dies, I think. I think it's the Goblet of Fire.
The fourth one, yeah, that's the fourth one.
Yeah, the one where Edward dies.
Well, if you only read the books, the whole story is it's an eight book series of a big reveal of the implication that I think the concept for what the story actually what Harry Potter and Voldemort's conflict with their the big gimmick of their story is actually hinted at, I think, in the 6th book and is manifested in the 8th book. But the whole thing is just basically filler to take you on a fun adventure.
Yeah. So again, I never got into it. I haven't seen it. So, like, some of these chicks could quite literally, use that as a bargaining chip and like, yeah, I'll watch Harry Potter.
I think it's always, but the thing that's really dumb about Harry Potter is that the whole story, like the whole story is that racism is bad. That's pretty much the whole plot of
because of the whole mudblood thing.
Yeah,
these guys look like Elric of Meldemonet and shit.
Yes, Voldemort is obsessed with the purity of blood. He's obsessed with every single stereotype about racism you have. I mean, even Voldemort's minions in the movie have their pointy like clan hats, and they're even like no jokes about inbreeding among the higher ups. Like the Slytherin people, like they marry with it. Like people of the higher bloods, they intermarry, and so they don't reproduce, or they have deformities and stuff. And so it's like every single like lazy racial stereotype about someone who's racist is in it.
Fucking
I think Voldemort's mom lives in a house that could be described as white trash.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Like, the wizard equivalent to white trash. I mean.
So what? Sticks, Hex, and Hammers, cuck shed. Yeah.
Anywho,
yeah, it's the cuck shed.
I'm being distracted.
And I have my amazing team with me, and we are going to head out and create a super powerful, transformative experience for all of the beautiful ladies from all over the world who are coming to join us. Oh, this is
This. Oh God! Here we go.
This is the best seaweed for bathing rituals. You stroke it along your...
Darn witches.
I'm telling you, dude, these women are the ones who they'd fuck you, and then they'd be like, we bonded our fucking magical energies together, and which is technically, well, there's something going on. Not to go full Hegelian on you, but there's definitely, let's say, a thesis and an antithesis going on. Synthesis.
Never mind that. Like, if I was really crass, I said, never mind that. Let's synthesize once again.
Let's synthesize and jeez.
Let's synthesize our contradictions again and again and again. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, don't be
and you have your own silky skin. Doesn't work the same with clothing. Gotta be naked.
Fucking borderline.
Let's see if I could get that.
Gotta be naked.
Oh wow, that's an awful take.
That's Aego, I think it's called. That's what I'd make her look like that. I could make her look like that. San
stuffing it in
Diego.
her trunk. What the heck? Get a bag. Get a bag or
Get a-
something.
Get a man to fucking hook a trailer to your fucking car.
Me just putting a little seaweed back here.
Oh, it's gonna smell so bad.
It probably smells in there, like
We are
Trader
entering
Joe's or something. It smells like Trader Joe's and like I don't fucking know.
Trader Joe's smells okay. They at least keep the air clean.
No, but this is the demographic that goes to Trader Joe's and like buys at Whole Foods and crap like that.
Oh, yeah,
does yoga.
Selling capitalism to to guilt-ridden liberals.
Yep, you could be the most you could have your own inner demons be manifested into money in your reality. Buy my seminar now. Fucking A.
Hello! We're here!
All part of the plan, folks.
We have made it to the castle.
You gotta have the
And-
freaking Joe Millionaire castle, right? Fucking castle from Joe Millionaire, or the fucking Bachelor.
Yeah, a lot of people actually use those castles. Like, I think there's another guy who uses castles like that to sell his like business plan lessons.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing, except that they're using magic, so that way you can never actually be wrong, because there's always a variable that you just don't know about, because you have she has the gnosis of the neurosis, don't you know?
Yeah, at least when I took Jake Trent's class, I at least was able to do it from the comfort of my computer.
Oh, you think Jake Tran's one of these type of people again?
Well, I mean, I'm tempted. I'm easily tempted to say so, but the thing is, he actually sold an art class, and everyone, like anyone who tells you otherwise, like people said, "Oh, this is such an investment." No, it's an art class, and it's like all other art classes. It's overpriced, and you have to get something out of it yourself.
They didn't have access to any sort of networking or anything like that.
I mean, technically there is no networking. I mean, because the thing you have to understand, like, he's just teaching you how to capitalize on YouTube, which is in the ever since the word, how to mass produce on YouTube, which it could work. The thing that I like most about YouTube is that it's individualized channels. Like, most of the channels that make the kind of content that he was selling us are the kind of things I only watch once but never subscribe to.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
Of course, if you have a good thing that works the algorithm, you don't have to worry about subscribers. You just have to worry about views.
Ah, that actually makes sense. If you worry about views, the subscribers will come. That makes sense.
And I'm gonna go and give the land a little blessing. This is my 3rd time here.
Harry Potter shot. Such a Harry Potter shot.
Oh my god.
Make the hat green and she look just like I forget her name she's one of the characters in Harry Potter.
Here.
I think I know you're talking about.
McGonagall, that's her name. McGonagall.
McGargle? MacGyver. Fucking MacGyver.
First time that I ever came to this land and this place, and I'd never had anywhere in the world welcome me so instantly, so quickly. And
go back a bit. Go back 30 seconds. She says she's never been there.
Go in the world welcome me place, and I ever came 3rd time here, and my first time that I ever came
here. The 3rd time here, and the first time I ever came.
My first time that I ever came to this land and this place, and I'd never had anywhere in the world welcome me so instantly, so quickly, and literally speak to me, viscerally connect with me, and it showed me and told me
What the fuck is she talking about? Play it back one more time and just listen to what she's saying.
The land embraced. The land welcomed her. I don't have no idea what it means, but it welcomed her.
This is my 3rd time here, and it's the first time the land is embracing me?
Well, yeah, she said that was her 3rd time visiting. Like, this particular recording is her 3rd time there, but she's recounting, oh, the first time here, oh, I felt so alive here. The land just welcomed me, whatever that means.
Maybe she took a mud bath and then she somehow won with the universe or something.
Well, maybe she is a medium and she's getting in touch with something I'd rather not be in touch with.
Yeah, like for all the jokes about fucking the brains out of this type of chick, you don't want to. Like I think you said it best when I showed you pictures of my friend back in. She's actually a witch also. Back in fucking Cali, right?
Uh-huh.
You said that. Oh, you don't want to fuck her. She'd probably get something spiritually. You'll catch something.
Oh yeah, you do not want to mess. Like they say, you don't want to put yourself in crazy because of attachment. No, you don't want. You're becoming one flesh with that. You don't want to be one flesh with these people.
You don't want to find the antithesis to your synthesis.
Ugh.
Wanted me to go, oh, come here and talk to the unicorns there. And I truly had never experienced Bland being so vocal, so communicative. So I'm just gonna reintroduce myself, say hello again.
Yeah, she knows this because she's the medium. She has the gnosis. She knows what she's talking about.
You know, is she even is this even like an ancestral land that she's a part of? Like, is she actually fucking like English or Welsh or where the fuck she's at? Scottish, maybe?
I don't know what her profile is.
Well, she's in France, right? So it's France. She French? I don't know.
And take a little skinny dip in the walk.
Skinny dip in the walk. Oh, great.
Oh no!
Is that your OnlyFans? Is that your OnlyFans account?
She probably does have an OnlyFans.
Oh,
no! Actually, I want to look that up. I want to look it up.
Don't, please don't.
I'm sorry, Luke. The devil's making me do it. I have to learn how to become a spiritual entrepreneur. Keep playing it, Luke.
Are your tootsies, Ash? Yeah. Okay, where are we gonna try and swim to? No. No, there's not gonna be a monster in there.
There's no fucking nudes of her, but there is a lot of fucking bikini shots. She literally is a chick from Firefly, dude. She's like an older borderline version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Oh fuck no! Look at I became my own sugar daddy. Oh, actually, we already saw this one.
Nonsense.
These women are fucked in the head, mate. But I think this is her guy, I guess. Let me see if I can find a picture of her. Keep going. Keep playing.
Oh, yeah.
I like how this cloak buttons all the way down. That's cool. Then it's like actually closed like a jacket. This is cool. Yeah. This cloak is fucking awesome. Cool. They always
This
call me the
bitch has a
trash
fucking
lady.
weird accent.
Other people think of trash. This is still beautiful. We can make
She's
a little...
literally one of those people who will go through your trash. Oh my god. But apparently... Oh, what the fuck is this, Luke? I didn't even... Okay, so this is on her Instagram.
What is this?
Just read what she posted.
Let your weird be your wand. When I was manifesting bear, I was my fullest weirdness, doing all kinds of weird, traumatic rituals.
Tantric rituals, sex rituals, actual Gnostic sex cults, Luke. Actual Gnostic sex cults.
They labor everywhere for the youth.
Hold on. What is this? Tantric rituals, blood magic, BDSM, anything I could get my hands on to heal my relationship to myself and the masculine in order to be ready for him. Since she's referring to her masculine side as her sugar daddy.
I think it's just cope, bro. I think it's just fucking cope. I think it's copium.
Okay.
Ugh.
Fall harvest bouquet.
God. This is what the real world looks like for Wiccans. She's doing her. She knows what she's doing, Luke.
Is this for the women or the men?
This is for both. Good lord. It's white girl summer, Luke. It's white girl summer.
It's Belle's song. That's such a modern. That's such a intellectual liberal song. You know the song Belle sings in the opening of Beauty and the Beast.
No, I have not.
There must be more than something more to this provincial life. It's like I want something more than what I have. It's like typical.
So she's one of those Disney princesses that were made in the time of wanting more, just wanting more. Not specifics, just wanting more.
Where's the lyrics? I want to read the lyrics out here.
Fucking put it in. Put it in the Suno.
There goes the baker in the tray like always. Let's see. There must be something more than this provincial life. There goes the baker with his tray like always. Same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same. Since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town. And then it says blah 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 blah. There she goes. That girl is so peculiar. Blah 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 blah. It's just the whole town is just like criticizing her for not being normal.
Because she's kind of, let's not kid ourselves. Belle is one of those bitches who reads Marquis de Sade.
Oh,
that's the type of person you're dealing with. She's the Marquis. She's
here it is. Now it's no wonder that
she's
her
a
name.
libertine.
Yeah, now it's no wonder that her name means beauty. Her looks have got no parallel. But behind that fair facade, I'm afraid she's rather odd, very different from the rest of us. She's nothing like the rest of us. Yes, different from the rest of us is Belle. But where's that last? Like, there's a big line. Like, there's a rephrase of it. Like, she just longs for something, but she doesn't know what it is until the father gets captured and she has to give herself up to the beast.
She wants to give herself up to the beast. She wants that beastly. You know what?
Oof.
Ugh.
Oh yes,
she's cranky like that.
Yeah, but.
Our retreat begins this afternoon, and so we're all here just powwowing, eating a little breakfast, talking about crazy shit, you know, and Ashley's gonna go rent.
So just talking.
They're talking about boys and stuff, Luke. They're talking about boys.
Or the boys that...
They're talking about boys. And
slide them, or just boys in general, or...
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? They're talking about boys. They're just talking about boys and guys and men.
Everybody from the shuttle at the airport and bring them over here.
They're my pay pickies. There they come.
They're the pagan pay pickies.
Oh boy. I mean, I wonder if she genuinely believes it, or if she's just cynical, like, oh, my prey is here. I'm very curious.
I don't know, dude. She's fucking crazy. Oh, that's all I know. And I legitimately would not. Don't stick your dick in crazy.
Here
don't do it.
Here it is, the reprise. Madame Gaston, can you just see it? Madame Gaston is the little wife. No, sir, not me, I guarantee it. I want something more than this provincial life. I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I want more than I can tell, and for once it would be grand to have someone understand. I want so much more than they've got planned.
She wants more, guys. She wants more. Fuck.
Unquenchable desire. So, are we moving on to the next one?
We're moving on to the next one.
Oh yes, Jordan Peterson's asking the question.
He's asking the Satanist question, which
good
on you.
It's closer to the Gnostic question.
He's getting closer. He's getting very close. But here's the problem: he can't answer the Gnostic question because if he does, he has to give up his Jungian psychology.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he won't do it though. Yep.
Know why he turned to atheism. These poems that he wrote that were pans to Mephistopheles, is that after he becomes an atheist?
No, he's writing, so the first one was 1837, wrote another in 1841. He wrote a bunch of them. Right. He did just a chilling play called Ulanem, Oulanem. And people that are watching this, if they now type into their computer Ulanem, even in Google, it'll pop up, played by Karl Marx. It even has a Wikipedia entry. And let me warn people, you might not want to do this, but if you click the images button, you will see, there's some satanic...
Ulanem. A tragedy is a poem by remarks, blah, blah, blah. The action takes place in a mountain town in Italy where a mysterious German stranger, Ulanem, and his companion Lucido arrive. The play was translated, blah, blah, blah. Marx only completed the first act of the play. The titular character, who is believed to be a reference to Emmanuel, one of the biblical characters. The first act includes a soliloquy in which Ulanem laments mortality and inevitability, destruction of the world by God, and asks himself if he must destroy the world to turn it in defiance. This closely echoes the themes of Goethe's Prometheus in 18 poetry, which admire the authors in early Romantic era. Oh, let's see. Let me see. Oh yes, this is one of, I think, Karl Marx. Oh, yeah, I know this one. We are, and we apes of a cold god still cherish, with frenzied plain upon our loving breast, the viper so voluptuously warm, that is a universal form tears up, and from this place on high girds down on us. in our ears till loathing all consumed. The weary wave roars onward, ever onward. Now quick to the die, the die is cast, and all is ready. Destroy what only poetry lied contrived. A curse shall finish what a curse conceived.
What the hell is that? That's Marx?
Yep, I believe so.
Honestly, dude, it comes off like this guy is. Like, I'm of the opinion that a lot of this stuff is just. James Lindsay's correct. This is all Gnosticism.
Yep.
But there's another good quotation where he says, "We are the apes of an angry god," or something like that.
So the monkey god is real then.
Well, it's not, the Gnostic one.
Yeah, the demiurge that won't let us have nice stuff. That's what we're dealing
stuff up there.
Let's see if I can find that video back. I'll find it eventually.
From like not heavy metal but like black metal groups. So Ulanem is an anagram for Emmanuel or Emmanuello.
Right.
So Marx takes Emmanuel, which is the name given to Christ, or Emmanuello, and he flips it into this anagram called Ulanem. And it's this chilling play. The main character is Lucindo, Lucindo, and you just can't believe what you're reading with this play. So that was written later in the 1840s. So really the prime of his writing, including the decade when he wrote the Communist Manifesto, is also the same decade when he was writing these poems.
And plays.
And throughout his life, his kids and others would say, he had a favorite line always from Mephistopheles.
Right.
Everything that exists deserves to perish. So that remains a part of him throughout his life. His son, Edgar, has a letter where he addresses his father as my dear devil, which, I don't know, maybe it's playful, I don't know.
Yeah,
although I would never call my dad my dear devil. His wife called him my wicked knave. I quote Henrik Heinzen, referring to him as a goblin who tried to take me under his spell. Other cases of where he's using that kind of language. When Engels first met him, he describes him as this dark man from Trier, who hops and leaps and springs on his heels. The monster of 10,000 devils, he describes him. And the letter from his father is, which was written in 1837, a year before.
He made a Spring-Heeled Jack reference. You know that?
Yeah, Marx is very poetic. Like the weird poetry that he has in his writing is everywhere, which is why his work is so obnoxious to read.
No, he made a Spring-Heeled Jack reference. Spring of his heels.
Let's see.
Father died. So his father writes to him, March 2nd, 1837. Carl, at times my heart delights in thinking of you and your fortune, and yet at times I cannot rid myself of ideas which arouse in me sad forebodings and fear when I am struck, as if by lightning, by the thought, is your heart in accord with your head, your talents? Has a room for the earthly but gentler sentiments, which in this veil of sorrow, it's a beautiful letter in many ways, are essentially consoling for a man of feeling. And then this question from the father of Karl Marx to his
here we
is
go.
At this point 18-year-old son. And since that heart, Karl, is obviously animated and governed by a demon, not granted to all men, is that demon heavenly or Faustian? Will you ever, and that is not the least painful doubt of my heart, will you ever be capable of truly human domestic happiness? And this doubt has no less tortured me since I have come to love a certain person like my own child. Will you ever be capable of imparting happiness to those immediately around you? By the way, the answer was no, right? But that phrase,
this has always been around. Just no one bothers to look at it. It's just creepy how that makes perfect sense. Karl Marx's life is just a perfect emulation of this. And here's a little here's one of his poems. Let's see if I can play it here.
So he had poems called Savage Songs, and they were, as you can imagine, not very song-like, but extremely savage. So he has an intense pessimism about the human condition. It's full of hatred, fascination with corruption and violence, a fascination with suicide pacts, which come out of some of the writings. The Sorrows of Young Werther is one of those. Suicide pacts and pacts with the devil. Tragically, as we'll see later, his daughters were intensely wrapped up in suicide pacts and died from some of them. So he wrote when he was young, we are chained, shattered, empty, frightened, eternally chained to this marble block of being. We are the apes of a cold god. He has himself, in the person of God, say, I shall howl gigantic curses at mankind.
My God. We're dealing with spiritual. We're not just dealing with spiritual leftists. We're dealing with the leftists now.
He's so emo.
Fucking emo shit. Holy hell.
So, can we keep going?
Yep, we keep going.
And intimations of that.
Yeah, and since that heart is obviously animated and governed by a demon, not granted to all men, is that demon heavenly or Faustian? Right. That's his dad.
Yeah.
And there's only so many of those things I think that a sympathetic Marxist or Marxist biographer can shrug off. I mean, there's just so many statements like that from him and people about him and people who knew him and loved ones, and a wife, a son, a best friend from Ingalls, and then the different writings. Woo.
Okay, so let's attack this.
Now, was he a Satanist, right?
Well,
that is a whole different thing that I can't personally answer.
Well, it seems not unreasonable to presuppose that he was a devotee of the Mephistophelian ethos.
Yeah, I think that's
right. So
really
the question is, what constitutes a Satanist? Well, someone who generates a murderous doctrine, that raises questions. I mean, dead serious about that. Like, right. The most murderous doctrine ever promoted in the roughly Judeo-Christian context by a large margin. So I would say it's incumbent on those who would defend him to describe why we wouldn't just assume that. But the part of the reason that I was so interested in talking to you was because I felt that what you documented in your book was extraordinarily telling from a psychological perspective, because I know how these things work, and it is not something that can be overlooked. That was his favorite quote. Right. I mean, especially not when you understand Goethe's centrality in the German intellectual tradition. That's like having a favorite quote from Shakespeare, right? And it's not any old quote. It's the central credo of Mephistopheles. So that's extraordinarily telling. Now, I do have another...
Can I give you Yes. So Robert Payne, the very serious academic, no right-winger, British man of letters, the guy who really broke this first in his 1968 biography of Marx, all right? His chapter where he talks about this stuff is called The Demons in his Marx biography. Now, he wrote this, and I'm not saying that I endorse this. As an academic, I can't say if this is correct. There were times when Marx seemed to be possessed by demons. That's what Payne wrote. And now this I would at least more endorse. Marx had the devil's view of the world and the devil's malignity. Sometimes he seemed to know that he was accomplishing works of evil. I think that gets closer to it. Now, Pastor Richard Wurmbrand, who wrote the famous book Tortured for Christ, and was tortured for Christ in Romanian prisons by communist captors who were shouting, "I am the devil," while they were torturing him. He did a book called Marx and Satan. He's convinced that Marx was a Satanist and did some things ritualistically that it might have even been satanic. But I can't say that. I can't endorse that.
But you see evidence of that in his play.
I've never seen.
In terms of at least his fantasies.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
In fact, Payne even goes so far as to say, Vladimir Lenin, right? There's a statement from Lenin which said, when I was a teen, I broke from all religion. I took the cross from my neck and I threw it in the rubbish bin. And Payne has a quote where, not Payne, Richard Wurmbrand, where I think he believes that Lenin even stomped on it. He says, well, that's a satanic ritual. I don't know that it is or not. But there's another case of Lenin who at least did the work of the devil. I mean, Lenin had, according to Robert Conquest, W.H. Chamberlain, the first historian of the Russian Revolution, 500,000 people were killed from 1917 to 1923 under Lenin, not even including the Russian Civil War. If that's not the devil's work, I don't know what the hell it is, right? But I think what Payne said in the latter quote, the devil's view of the world, the devil's malignity, and at the very least, this identification with kind of devilish-like destruction, right? Tearing everything down, rebelling against the world, everything that exists deserves to perish. That at least, and then the ideology that he created that just happened to be responsible for the deaths of over 100 million people in the 20th century, more than World War I and World War II combined. So that ideology was pretty hellacious.
No shit. No fucking shit it was. But the thing that got me, and this is sort of where what I got from it, was that this type of talk, like I picked up on one of it. He said he's a Springfield devil, right? Do you know about that? That's an actual reference to something, Luke. Here you go. This is actually, I think this is a meme, an old meme, but it actually does matter. Here you go, Luke. This is what I think he's
Century London. 19th century London. Its gas street lamps, thick fog, pollution, and claustrophobic streets inspired histories and legends. The largest urban environment in the world at the time, London boasted rapid industrialization, significant job opportunities, brutal class division, crowded slums, and a fire-breathing, wall-leaping, claw-wielding devil who attacked women in their homes and in the streets, terrorizing a community for some 67 years. Introducing one of the world's first urban legends. His name was Spring-Heeled Jack. I'm Dr. Emily Zarka, and this is Monstrum. Early in the 1800s, reports of a leaping man in the form of a ghostly apparition had already emerged in folklore and rumors, but the flesh and blood creature took form in January 1826, when the Northampton Mercury reported that a masked man with spring boots which enable him to vault over a 10-foot wall was spotted. A man jumping walls in the middle of the night can easily be dismissed as a prank, right? Maybe at
That's
first,
Super Mario. Fucking Mario Brothers. Mario is gonna kick a Koopa. It all makes sense. I mean, if you look at fucking what was his name, Stalin. Motherfucker's dressed like Super Mario. Well, there you go.
His behavior and his notoriety changed. That year, multiple women gave statements to the police that they'd been violently attacked by a monster who would ring their doorbell or accost them in the street and then tear their clothes with his claws. Since the victims were working-class women, early reports weren't taken as seriously at first. That is until in January 1838, the Lord Mayor of the City of London, Sir John Cowan, read a letter to the press outside his mansion. The anonymous author claimed they wanted to bring reports of a supernatural attacker to the attention of the authorities. He believed the letter's author to be a woman who had become senseless as a result of the strange attacker, and mockingly implored her to write a description of the demon that would enable him to catch him. Now that the mysterious Jack had been discussed by the mayor, a male authority figure of the upper class, the real attention began. A few days later, headlines blamed Spring Jack for the attacks. The West Kent Guardian finally gave the unknown
I wonder if those little snides are accurate, though.
I don't know.
Like, working class, they're working class women, therefore they're dismissed. Like, really? I mean, was that really a thing?
It probably was, honestly.
I don't know.
Perpetrator and
Whatever.
stuck.
Keep going.
Spring-heeled Jack. With the papers giving more pages to the figure, rumors and stories of his attack spread wildly, and Londoners jumped at shadows, convinced Spring-heeled Jack was coming for them next. Children and adults alike told stories about him. Then in February 20th, 1838, Miss Jane Alsop, the 18-year-old daughter of a gentleman, heard a ringing at her gate and there discovered a man claiming to be a policeman. He announced that they had captured Spring-heeled Jack and she needed to bring the officer a candle. As Jane did so, the man threw off his cloak and, applying the lighted candle to his breast, presented a most hideous and frightful appearance and vomited forth a quantity of blue and white flame from his mouth, and his eyes resembled red balls of fire. He placed her head under one of his arms and
that's
commenced
what
tearing her
Marx
gown.
is comparing himself to? Like, really?
That's how his father is comparing him to.
So basically, Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Fucking
wow.
Like Marx is a superhero type of shit. Ugh. He struck it out with the ladies though. Fuck. Anyhow, let's look what else we got here on this fucking channel. Besides the okay, here's one for you. This really pissed me off, and another example why I'm getting really upset at the right and the left, because this is sick. Michael Knowles. I really don't like Michael Knowles anymore.
Kevin Spacey breaking down, going broke. Like that Kevin Spacey, really?
Yep. The
Kevin
actual
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, not Gonzalo Lira.
Yeah.
Is just broken down on the Piers Morgan show because he doesn't have any money anymore. Where'd you live now? Well, it's funny you asked that question because
I mean, do we really want to take that seriously, though? I mean, he's an actor.
What?
I mean, he's trained himself to cry like that, so...
That's what a lot of people are saying. They're saying that it's bullshit, that he's making this shit up, and he's basically playing the game of,
But then again, he hasn't been anything since that little incident. His little incidents came out, so...
Oh, wow. I actually found some interesting... This bitch. Apparently this is Mia Magic right here. Look at this.
Should I keep going with this, or...
This week,
no, keep going with it.
Where I have been living in Baltimore is being foreclosed on. My house is being sold at auction. Really? So I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage. Really? So the answer to that question is I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now, but I've been in Baltimore for since we started.
Why is he on the Piers Morgan show? What is the purpose of this? Just interviewing?
Interview him, I guess. Yeah.
Any reason why?
I don't know. But I do know. But I do know this. Here you go, Luke. Kate Upton's talking to fucking Mia Magic.
Kate Upton? Oh, really? Let's see.
Yeah, I told you she looked like that chick from Firefly. This I guess when Kate Upton was still fucking relevant. Is Kate Upton even hot? Like I don't really think.
I've seen her in one movie. I thought she was gorgeous.
I'd smash the brains out of her. And
Facing bankruptcy.
I mean, keep going.
Been a couple of times when I thought I was going to file, but we've managed to sort of dodge it, at least as of today. How much money do you have? None. Kevin Spacey, one of the greatest actors of his generation, is totally bankrupt. And I feel sorry for him, but I feel sorry in a very particular way. I feel pity for Kevin Spacey in the way that Dante feels pity for the sinners in hell. I don't feel pity for Kevin Spacey in a way that denies the justice of what he's going through. I think what he's going through is absolutely just.
I feel pity for him because he just didn't really know, and he kind of thought he could get away with it. Kevin Spacey is facing the just consequences of his evil actions. he
what
did
evil
lots
actions?
of very bad things that are very public. He behaved in a way that one is not supposed to behave, and had a reputation
Which
apparently for
way?
doing so.
Oh,
which way?
Do you know the details?
No, I don't. Tell me.
He supposedly raped a kid.
Really?
I mean, look up the specific claims. Supposedly, and then when he found out, he played the gay card and said like he was. Oh no, he was just experimenting.
I think I remember that, right? They played the gay card, and then like he hid away from it. But like, wasn't he brought before trial? Right?
The allegations him span nearly 5 decades and had a significant impact on his career. In 2017, actor Anthony Pratt accused Spacey of making sexual advances towards him when he was 14 years old, and Spacey was 26. Let's see. Since the initial allegations, over 50 men have come forward with the claims of sexual misconduct. So he's targeting a lot of young guys.
He's targeting a lot of young guys.
But well, if the accusations are true, but I don't know how much they've been proven. But then again, I wouldn't put it past Spacey.
I'm gonna be a bit more reserved on this. Like if Leslie can convict him, I'm gonna be more reserved. So this is sort of where I really do think that Michael needs to take the log out of his own eye in this regard. Imagine if we played this type of game with Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer, even though technically Rittenhouse is found not guilty in a court of law, so he's not.
And also, the biggest difference is that we have the video showing him not guilty.
Yeah, that's another thing. But at the same time, Kevin Spacey was found not guilty. So, like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? But then I even shared this to Spacey. Said, "Hey, you should probably sue about this, because this guy is like fucking slandering his good name. Keep playing it, Luke."
Now he is being persecuted for doing those bad things, and he's crying about it. If Kevin Spacey were being persecuted for doing the right thing, I strongly suspect he wouldn't be crying about it. When people undergo persecution for goodness and justice, for God, for the faith, when they're martyred. You think of the Christians in the Colosseum, they're dancing as they're about to be fed to lions, because they know that what they're doing is right, and they understand that it is for the greater glory of God, and it's a good thing, and they don't have anything to fear.
Dancing is not the same thing in that context. Dancing means they're fighting in the Colosseum. Dancing like a sword dancer, like, shall we dance? Like he's dancing, he'll never die. That type of dance. If anyone gets the reference, they're awesome. Like, honestly, I'm disgusted by this. Like, we have no evidence that Kevin Spacey actually did it. We have a bunch of accusations which doesn't mean anything.
The only thing we have is he says in the interview. Well, later in the interview, he says he was too handsy in the past, but did not intend to harm anyone by it. And that's actually the same accusation that went against
Weinstein?
No, not Weinstein. Someone more mundane, like John Lasseter of Pixar. He's notorious for being very friendly and hugging, and someone took advantage of that to basically fire him.
So for all we know, that this is all bullshit, and they're just weaponizing it, a quirk against him. We don't know if that's the case. Fuck.
Although it's kind of weird that he decided to, his defense was, I'm gay, or I'm going to, I'm a homosexual and I was just experimenting, or something to that effect.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, he has denied some of the accusations, but it's in this gray area where I don't know if any charges have actually been. Let's see, have there been any charges?
That's what I want to know, because I looked up the charges, and from what I understand, there haven't been any charges. So Michael Knowles saying, "We know you're evil," is bullshit. I know that's bullshit.
7 new charges.
This fucking bitch. Oh my god, this whore has dragged her at. There's some actual ass on. Oh my god.
Here it is. The jury said we do not find sufficient evidence to say that he did molest Rapp, the first accuser.
Lord, this is. I'm gonna have to do like a deep dive on this Mia magic chick at some point, because the more I'm looking at it, and I'm sorry, but I'm distracted by how fucking. I'm distracted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Luke.
I get distracted all the time. Oh, is that her?
That's her.
Let's see if we
And I'm actually looking into like her background and shit like that. Like I'm doing like
this isn't
first
a very,
image.
Yeah, this isn't a very appealing picture though.
Well, that's because she used to be a fucking model and now she's becoming, less and less. I mean, there's some nudes in here. I said I want to see nudes because fuck that shit, right? I don't fucking know.
So is Michael Knowles just saying something because it's in the news or what?
Oh, he's basically bashing Kevin Spacey because he knows from the gnosis that Kevin Spacey actually did those things.
Oh, what's this? Kevin Spacey confirms Bill Clinton flew to Epstein's Island. Oh, that's with teens. Oh, is that what that's what he went on for?
I guess. I fucking guess.
I mean, Bill Clinton, unfortunately. I mean, justice to Bill Clinton, but yeah, it's like so late. I mean, it is kind of like that situation we're in. We want the justice done now, and when it finally happens, like, oh, okay, I'm glad it finally happened. Better late than never.
Gee whiz.
At that rate, we might as well just wait for God's judgment for him to die and then end up in the fires of hell at that rate.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm becoming more and more like not an activist. Like I hate this stuff. I don't even watch it. Why should I watch it? Right? All this is nothing we can do about it. We can't fucking change anything. It's better just to fucking focus on yourself. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking yeah. I don't know. Here we. Oh, dude, she has titties. Fuck. No, like I'm trying to. I'm looking at this chick, and oh wow, she does have a fucked up. She literally is the character from fucking not Cleveland show. What the fuck is it called? Family Guy. Like that's that one scene, that one Quagmire skit where Quagmire's like, hey Brian, can you help me with this chick, but don't say anything about her like really fucked up leg, right? Like, just don't mention it at all. Like, seriously, and then he mentions it.
Oh wow!
Like, look at this chick.
What happened to her arm?
Well, it just magically healed, don't you know?
Wow! What the heck is that? It's like a huge slash across her arm. Where does that come from? Like, is her arm covered? Is her other arm's covered? Like now that I think about it, I don't know her other. Now that I think about it, I don't think we've seen that arm of hers.
We have. Remember, she talked about that before. I don't think you can show that, Luke. I don't think you can be able to show that.
No. Her arm. The one that's actually scarred.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. It's not that.
A bird did it.
Oh, there it is.
There
like the huge bulge right there, but we never see any. I don't think we ever see past that sleeve.
Fucking skinny dipping. Fucking whore.
Yeah, sleeve. Oh, there. Yeah, it's right there behind her. Like, right. Yeah, that's right behind this hand. There's a horrible. The arm. There's a horrible deep scar. Like, wow. Oof.
It looks like someone tried to stab her, like her arm, and then cut right straight through, and down to the freaking the middle of the index finger and your ring finger.
Yeah. Do you know how she got that, or how's it?
I don't know. Probably because she got raised wrong or something.
Yeah. You don't really look for it, but that hand right there, like the way it's shaped, like, oh, that's scar material. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
There it is. You and I both see what she's into. Good lord. Oh, what is this?
Believe that they can change, that they can transform, that they can get rid of their old ways and their old moods and move through them and become someone different. As everyone sets their intentions and we get to connect more deeply in sisterhood together, I remind you, Queen, it's time for you to rise into the powerful portal you were born to be, because there is no time to waste. I know you feel it, the magic pulsing inside of you, standing as a conduit, extending not only an invitation but a sacred call, beckoning you too to stop playing small. What if you knew you had the power to fundamentally change the course of your life, to lay down the burdens of unworthiness that have plagued you, to transform the trajectory of the trauma you've experienced, and get 10 years of therapy in 1 week? This is a place where fantasy becomes reality as the old version of you fades into obscurity.
So it is. So they are paying a surplus for therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy without the paperwork, without the mandated reporter bullshit.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh wait, there it is.
Oh.
Ooh, that's brutal.
Oh.
It's
She has
saying
to
that
sleep on the
creates
couch.
compassion and empathy between everyone, and I didn't really feel that in this group so much, and that was really interesting. So that means that there's
Oof, that's a deep scar right there.
You're looking at her scar?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
You're
that is the reason why I'm watching this. Like, oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Well, you know, it helped her become a self-help guru.
Indeed.
untold even here for me. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what unfolds, and it allows me to just know and trust that the rituals that I have created for this experience, they're just going to be exactly the medicine that they're always meant to be. So I'm very excited to see how the rest of this week goes, and I'm going to go to bed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It is such a gift to be able to share this medicine. This is just the first little episode.
No, we're not going to like, comment, and subscribe. And no, we're not going to... I don't really care about that. I don't really care one bit at all. Anyhow, Luke, any final thoughts?
Here we go. This is perfect. I have something perfect for the moment.
Sure.
Okay, I'll shut up. I'm not one that has to keep talking. Some fellas just have to keep their mouths flapping, but not me. I was brought up right. My pa used to tell me shut up, and I'd shut up. I wouldn't say nothing. One time darn near starved to death. Wouldn't tell him I was hungry.
Well said. He was getting a little bit closer and closer to Yosemite Sam, which is my favorite personally. Yosemite Sam with his little guns. Apparently they tried to take it from him. Bastards. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, be good to one another, take care of one another. Remember, saving the West is